Have you ever wondered where all the crew and workers sleep at a festival? Well, last weekend I drove to Kendal Calling, picked up a sleeper trailer, cleaned and flipped the inside with a team of other drivers, took it all the way to Houghton Hall in Norfolk, ready for another festival the following weekend. I filmed the 2 days, so keep watching for a good behind the scenes. I started this job Sunday morning in our yard, putting the wing tops onto the unit. Some people ask why we don't keep these on when we're hooked up to a trailer. Our trailers are low rise, which means they sit really close to the wheels themselves, and we'd cause so much damage if we left the wing tops on. Went up to the Lake District. We stopped off at T-Bay Services for the night. They always look so funny parked up without the trailer. The following day we drove to Kendal Calling site, which was about 30 minutes away. If you've not been here before, it's up near Penrith rather than Kendal itself. It was definitely getting busy on the roads as we was heading in. This was Monday morning, so end of the main festival, and all the punters were coming out. I've actually gone to this festival twice as a normal paying attendee, so it was really cool to go behind the scenes like this. And it's always interesting at a festival to go where normal people can't, and actually taking a vehicle in, because a lot of the time you don't see vehicles when you're at a festival. So anyway, we headed to the first site. There was 2 areas that the sleeper trailers were within the grounds of the festival. This was the first one. We just parked the units up here, and we actually went up to the other site and got started on one of the trailers. There was about 5 or 6 of us inside the trailer, helping each other out and trying to do it as quickly as possible. I think between us it took about 45 minutes, which is pretty good going, and each trailer has about 16 to 20 beds in, so it seems like a lot, but it was actually pretty quick getting on with it. We stripped the beds, changed all the sheets, obviously put fresh clean ones on, hoovered, cleaned the inside, because you've got the bed area and then you've also got like a living room with a couple sofas and a fridge and a worktop. There is a sink, but I don't think the water gets connected. That food token that you can see, I actually lost that later on in the day, so I couldn't even keep it as a souvenir. But we had quite a good laugh doing this. This was right in the middle of it. I'm glad that I wasn't doing all the washing, because that would have definitely taken some time. Now, I don't know who brings a hairdryer to a festival. I've been to plenty of festivals and I've never needed one or probably even washed my hair at a festival, but maybe that's just me. Here you can see the first unit hooking up to the trailer that we've just cleaned. He does raise the air up a little bit as to not damage the legs, you can sort of tell. And this is a manual handbrake. I've never seen one of them before. These are a few bits that I found inside the trailers. Everyone had gone home, so all of this stuff was just going to end up in the bin. Nothing too exciting, just crisps and fruit mainly. Now, this clip is the trailer that we've just cleaned and the unit that I've just shown hitching up to it. We then drove back through the festival site to the other area where the sleeper trailers were. There was 3 down here, but it was only one that was desperately needed down in Norfolk. So again, we all focused on that one. Cleaned it out. I didn't show any clips because we was in quite a big rush, and it's obviously just the same thing, stripping the beds, hoovering it, making sure it's all neat for the next people. And what you can see here is me trying to reverse under the said trailer. We ran into a slight problem. It had been raining quite a lot over the weekend, so the ground was really soft and the trailer had sunk. I could only get one side underneath, so we engaged the diff lock and gently reversed underneath it, and that did the trick. Now this next clip, I'll stay silent. So the skeleton of our sleeper trailers is a Montracon rather than a Krone, which means the design of the landing legs is slightly different. Instead of winding them up with a handle and raising them off the ground, I pulled the pin out, lifted them up over themselves and then pushed the pin back in. I thought I'd done a better job of filming these clips, but instead you just focused on a blade of grass and very zoomed in. But here it is, all hooked up. The next clips are going to show us putting away all these little bits. First up was the power cable. The way these trailers are designed is so unbelievably clever and everything fits into itself. So we took off the handrails from the steps. They all lift out and they go in a box underneath the trailer, and then the way the stairs go, you tilt them, push them under and they slot in really neat. The last job was to go inside, make sure everything else was put away properly. The shoes belonged to some of the workers still, so they needed to collect them, and then I needed to close the window because that's the last thing I need to blow open heading down the motorway. And finally, I was ready to go, plumbed into the route on my sat-nav from Kendal Calling to Norfolk. It was definitely right across the centre of England from west to east. Headed past a couple trucks that were parked up at the main stage, through the festival grounds. It was so strange seeing it like this, but a lot of the food stalls had already gone and they were clearing fences and taking down the stages already. It's so crazy to think that only a few hours ago, the whole site was alive with thousands and thousands of people. I headed down the motorway for a good few miles, but then I needed a 45-minute break on this journey as it was over 4.5 hours. So stopped off at Blythe Services, made myself some dinner, almost dropped it, but ate that, carried on the journey. It was the final 2 hours 15 minutes all the way to Houghton Hall. When I got there, it was pretty dark. I arrived about 9:30 p.m, and everything you saw us put away at Kendal Calling had to be set back out again because there was people sleeping in it that night. So all the steps had to come out, power cables, drop the trailer. Everything that I'd done earlier on, obviously just in reverse. And finally, the last job was to put my wing tops back onto the unit, ready for the journey to the yard. We knew that we weren't going to make it in one go within our driving hours in our shift time, so we planned to stop just outside Royston, said goodbye to the 2 trailers and headed off into the darkness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and it's been an interesting behind the scenes for everyone.